Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, good evening, depending where you're zooming from. So I'll be talking about a new initiative called the Progressive Management Pathway for Improving Aquaculture Biosecurity. This is also known as the PMP-AB. And the PMP is an extension of the Progressive Control Pathways approach that's been used for controlling major livestock and zoonotic diseases. So globally, the trend in aquaculture is that a serious transboundary aquatic animal disease emerges, spreads rapidly, and causes major production losses approximately every 3 to 5 years. So since the 1970s, many diseases of parasitic, fungal, and viral bacterial origin affecting salmon, tilapia, shrimp, carp, many other fish species have emerged. And we expect this trend to just continue until the future, until there's good biosecurity practices implemented in collaboration with the public and private sectors. So there's many factors that contribute to this disease emergence in aquaculture. And as you can see on the right-hand slide here, they can be categorized into 4 major pathways, which include trade in live aquatic animals and their products, knowledge of pathogens and their hosts, aquatic health management and disease control, and finally, ecosystem change. And on the left side is a causal web, which shows that emerging diseases in aquaculture may occur due to the introduction of new diseases through various exposure pathways, or due to an increased impact of diseases that are already present, which are known as more endemic diseases. And the inability to deal with these diseases will negatively affect the sustainability of the aquaculture sector. So the consequences of an emerging disease are dependent on the time of detection and the effectiveness of response to the disease, which rely on good capacities in surveillance, diagnostics, institutional coordination, research infrastructure, biosecurity, disease control, and other factors. So these management measures should be practical, and they should also be risk-based to allow efficient resource allocation. So we'll get into the PMP. The PMP is a pathway aimed at enhancing aquaculture biosecurity by building on existing frameworks, capacities, tools, using risk-based approaches and public-private partnerships. And the PMP is expected to result in a sustainable reduction of burden of disease, improvement of health at farm and national levels, minimization of global spread of disease, optimization of socioeconomic benefits, attraction of investment opportunities, and finally, achievement of One Health goals, which includes AMR. And in the context of the PMP, aquaculture biosecurity is defined as the cost-effective management of risks posed by infectious agents to aquaculture through a strategic approach at enterprise, national, and international levels with shared public-private responsibilities. So the PMP has 4 stages, which are risk-based, collaborative, and progressive. And each stage has its own key outcomes and minimum requirements to progress to the next stage. So I'll just very briefly go over the next 4 stages here. So the first stage is biosecurity risks are defined. In the second stage, the biosecurity systems are initiated. The third stage, you'll see the biosecurity and preparedness are enhanced. And by the final stage, stage 4, there's sustainable biosecurity and health management systems established in the country. So since 2007, FAO's advocacy has been the development of national strategies on aquatic animal health as part of a health management for responsible movement of live aquatic animals, which is contained in the Code of Conduct for Responsible Fisheries, number 5, Supplement 2. And the strategy contains national action plans at the short, medium, and long term using a phased implementation, and of course, they're based on national needs and priorities. And this strategy is a very important part of the PMP, particularly in the very first step. So the first draft of the strategy is required to progress from stage 1 to stage 2 of the PMP. And as you can see here on the slide, these are the 16 elements of the strategy, and they're progressively built upon as a country moves along the pathway. So whatever is accomplished in a previous stage is continuously applied and then improved upon in later stages. So the 10th session of COFI, the 10th session of the COFI Subcommittee on Aquaculture led to the endorsement for the development of a multi-donor assisted long-term aquaculture biosecurity program consisting of 5 pillars focusing on disease prevention on farms, the PMP, aquaculture biosecurity, health economics, emergency preparedness, and then support to several other cross-cutting issues. And so therefore, FAO now has a mandate by its members to implement the PMP. And we're now in the process of establishing an official technical working group that will further develop the PMP and its mechanisms and supporting tools. And the PMP will be piloted in several participating countries over the next 12 months. So I'd just like to end my presentation with the following key messages. So first of all, biosecurity measures should be in place in parallel to any aquaculture development in countries. And these measures are more efficient and cost-effective when put in place for disease prevention compared to waiting until after outbreaks occur. And the PMP can offer a solid platform for public-private collaboration. It can also offer risk ownership, active engagement, and long-term commitment to risk management. The PMP offers government mechanisms and toolkits for implementing good biosecurity practices. And of course, it offers entry points along the pathway for any country, no matter their current situation. And finally, the PMP harnesses the opportunity of aquaculture production in a sustainable manner that is responsive to challenges through enabling policy environments with the goal to support the implementation of good aquaculture practices. And I just want to thank you for your attention and thank you to our partners for their support and collaboration.